guys. So today we're going to take a look and see what is going on in the connection at this time with you and this person. All right. I'm going to try to go ahead and see and continue. Like most of my deck just like fell to the ground, but I'm going to take that as an understanding that those cards don't want to be a part of this reading. Let's see what comes up here. Okay, so I'm getting a lot of this person may be feeling that you don't want anything to do with them. Yeah, I mean, it really feels like maybe you both feel that way. I'm getting both of you feel some sense of rejection from each other. Both of you feel really strained and stressed out, anxious about whether you're going to be able to continue to be in a relationship with each other. Yeah, it's a lot of stress. And some of the things that it is actually, where it says stress here, it looks like there could be outside stressors that are weighing on this connection. And that is what's really causing you to both, or one of you to be in this energy. It really feels like both of you. You're both in this energy of kind of like rejecting each other, or not being kind of like emotionally closed to each other, because of outside stressors. So it just shows up as you're not, neither one of you are in a place of being truly vulnerable because you're dealing with so much stress. And it's causing a lot of tension with you within the connection. The stress feels like it could be related to finances, it could be related to jobs, it could be related to other people, family. There's a lot of different understandings of stressors here that aren't the connection itself, but it is taking a toll on the connection. Okay. So maybe at this time you both stepped away from each other and you're wondering, is this it? Is this at an end? Will things be able to come back around? It looks like it could. I don't get the sense of it being over here. Looks like it could. It's not as final as it may seem at this time, but there may be things that Spirit is saying that you need to work out. You know, those stressors that got in the way in the first place, balancing that out, so that you won't have to worry so much about that in the connection, or won't allow that to get in the way. It just really shows up as the connection itself is not truly the problem. It's outside interferences, outside understandings that have been causing you both, because you're not necessarily processing the outside understandings in the best way. You've possibly been taking these things out on each other. I really am not getting that it's one person doing it. It feels like it's both of you that are doing it. You're both taking these emotions that you have based on other things out on each other. And that has been really the understanding of why this connection is possibly in a separation at this time. But it looks like it really has the ability to grow towards better. It just shows up as there may be things that need to be cleared out or balanced out outside of the connection, you know, in order for it to get better. Yeah, I get some sense of, if you're worried about how this person sees you, maybe there are things that you said that you didn't mean, and it could be that case on both sides. They don't think less of you. It still shows up as them thinking about the amazing understandings, or they remember all the beauty, all of the greatness of the connection too. It's not just them thinking about how things were left off, you know? So like it just shows up as they still see you as a good person, and they hope that you still see them that way. I don't get a sense of them thinking that, man, like they never want to be with you again. It mostly feels like on both ends that maybe both of you are just like, this person probably wants nothing more to do with me. And, you know, yeah, you both could also be standing in a little bit of ego in a sense at this time, but I do get both of you wanting to come back together. Anything else? Yeah, so there's a lot of sense of apology. And again, I don't get that this apologetic understanding is on one side. It feels like it's for both of you. Both of you may have said things that you didn't mean, but you do want the connection to work out. And it does show up as it will. It just shows up as there may be outside stressors that need to be fixed or balanced out, you know, so that you don't necessarily take this out on each other anymore. Because that's something that happens often when you're in relationships. When you feel stressed and you feel like things aren't going the way you want them to or need them to, with outside understandings, family, whatever the case may be, then you may take it out on your partner. And, you know, that's just how it often happens. Not saying it's fair, it's just the truth of how these things go. Let's see. Yeah, I really get that maybe for both of, no, one of you may have found out some really turbulent or shocking understanding. It could be, I get possibly the loss of a job or a loss of something, because I do get that there is in some way a financial understanding that's connected to you. So there could be some understanding that a loss here may have made this, the tension, been possibly the beginning of growing tensions in the connection, and that was the beginning of things beginning to fall apart or come apart in the connection, the beginning of things getting hard. And it was unexpected. It doesn't look like this was something that, you know, you saw coming, or whoever the case may be, whoever it happened to. I get that it wasn't something that was seen coming, and that really just kind of like hit the connection and really knocked it down. But it really, really shows up as there is a sense of this doesn't have to be lasting. It just shows up as you guys coming back and building it with more communication. And maybe I'm not really getting a sense of necessarily there was enough emotionally balanced communication and building this and a better understanding of that for it to come back together the right way. Yeah. I really get a sense of there's a lot of misunderstanding, from an emotional place, because the communication on an emotional level wasn't necessarily the best. There were things that were misunderstood. Mistakes were made on both sides, and this connection does have the ability to come back together, but it requires that both parties really, really come together in a sense of accountability and be open. Be more willing to just build slower. Maybe the connection is coming back and you're building it slower together this time, and really, really just from an emotional place communicate better. Yeah, I don't get it ending. And the bottom of the deck is showing up as there's a lot of love here. There's a lot of love in this connection, a lot of desire for this to be lasting or long term. It just really shows up as you are needing to possibly deal with some stress or deal with some outside interferences first, and then come back together, you know, in a more balanced way. Yeah, move in a new direction when you build this connection. It's not necessarily that it's coming back and you being in that same old way, because that would only, you know, if you did it the same old way, then it would just fall back down again the next time something, you know, unexpected happened. So it just really shows up as this connection is meant to be. It does have a good possibility of coming back together, you know, but it requires forgiveness on both sides. It requires openness on both sides. Both parties admitting, you know, their mistakes, or admitting, you know, just being really willing to take accountability, not staying in ego, and, you know, really, really beginning to build this connection from a more open sense of communication, you know, communicating the truth of everything and how you feel, not standing necessarily too much in ego. But that's all I'm really getting here at this time. I hope this message resonates, and if it doesn't, I hope you find what does.